All right, so this video today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly what I would do if I had $1,000 to start off in curative title work. This is what I teach a lot of people in our group coaching and also on our one-on-one coaching, what to do with their money when they start out on finding deals that are curative title, messy title, whatever it might be. This is exactly how I show them what to do. So let's go straight to the whiteboard because I know a lot of you have requested whiteboards. We're going to start to do a lot more in the future, and we're going to start like a whiteboard series. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. Let's jump right into it. So new whiteboard. Okay. The couple of things I want you to remember when you are starting off in curative title work is one, at some point, you're going to have some legal fees, some costs, things like that. I'm going to call these your cost of doing business for these types of transactions. So number one, you're going to have your legal fees. And these are kind of some things that I want you to address early on, whether it's talking to a title company, talking to an attorney, uh, talking to a trusted real estate advisor, things like that. So a couple of things you need to understand you're going to need some money for is, let's see, your budget's $1,000. So $1,000 budget, $1,000. Okay. Some cost of doing business things you're going to have. So cost of doing business for curative title. Okay. Hopefully, I haven't lost y'all yet. Okay. Number one, warranty deeds. Down here in Texas, these will cost you anywhere from about $100. That's on the low end, $100 to $400. I would say if someone's trying to charge you $1,000 for one warranty deed, go look for someone else. But just to give you a ballpark, a warranty deed is going to cost you about $100 to $400. And the reason there's such a wide variation on that is if you're buying out someone's interest on a property and you're getting no title insurance, what that means is that title company or the attorney is taking a risk writing that warranty deed because there might be a potential claim that comes back for it later. Again, I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving you any legal advice. I'm telling you exactly what happened with us, what happens with us. The other thing is if you are closing a deal in title and they're providing title insurance, most times your warranty deed is included in your closing costs, and they're going to charge you a little bit less for a warranty deed because they are guaranteeing that that title policy is a clean title. And so if you ever look at your HUD one, your closing statement, it will show your warranty deed cost. And typically your warranty deeds are going to be like $100 to $150 if you're closing on a deal that's using a title policy. If you're doing one without title insurance, like we do in curative title, whenever we're solving the title issues, buying out undivided interest, you're going to notice that your warranty deeds are like $300 to $500 on some instances. Okay. Keep that in mind. Have a little bit of pocket money for that. Next thing is going to be affidavit of airships. Airships. And these can be anywhere from like $150 to $600. Again, the number one thing on this you have to remember is we are buying deals without title insurance. We are doing the title search ourselves, whether you're using a overseas contact, you're paying $200 for a title search to be done at a title company in the US, things like that. You have to remember that on the affidavit of airship, it's essentially a statement of facts. And the attorney will look over it and go, hey, okay, you have three people that you said are deceased, but one person is alive. They're going to double check your work and say, hey, I don't feel comfortable doing this affidavit airship. We need to correct it. So that's why you'll see on affidavit airships, whenever they're not done in the title company or with a clear chain of title, they're going to be a little bit higher. So you might see like $600, maybe $1,000 per affidavit of airship. So make sure, number one, you're aware of that. It's not sticker shock. For example, we had a mentee that they had 12 affidavit of airships, and the title company required $7,000 being put up front ahead of time. And most of that was going to be credited back to them, but they wanted some kind of assurance that, hey, if there's anything comes back on each one of these affidavits, we're going to need something for it. And if you think of it, if it's 11 affidavit airships and you're paying $500 a piece, that's about going rate. Okay. It's $7,000. So keep that in mind. These are kind of your costs of doing business here. The other things you're going to have to keep in mind is if you're in a probate state, okay, some attorneys will do, let me just go for that probate. Some are optional. Okay. So if you're in a probate state like Ohio or Florida, you have to keep in mind that you might have to open probate. So you can always find attorneys that are willing to charge a little bit more on the back end. So, for example, you do have some probate attorneys where they will open a probate case for $1,000 and they charge $8,000 total for the whole probate. But what they'll do is they'll wait until the very end of the case once it's settled to get their payment. So keep that in mind. That's some ways of being a little savvy on stretching your dollar. But as far as the actual business spending your $1,000 to get started in curative title, I'm going to tell you a couple things here. Um, I'm always telling people, hey, if you're balling on a budget, you need to go and focus on where that $1,000 is going to maximize at. So number one, I'm going to always tell people this is go for code enforcement. Code enforcement, it's typically free. It's going to save you gas money because a lot of people I hear whenever I came up in the real estate world is people would say, hey, take $100 of your budget and go spend it on gas to go drive around on properties. That still works, don't get me wrong, but we're here to be from a data driven perspective so you can go get deals ASAP. We've got countless videos in our group coaching where it's one call closes. It's, hey, we made like 4 dials and we got the deal. And we never left the office. Okay. So free option here, code enforcement. And essentially your code enforcement list is going to be just like a driving for dollars list. So instead of you driving out there, there's a code enforcement officer that's paid minimum wage, 15 bucks an hour to go drive around and say, hey, this property looks like it needs to be tore down or there's high grass. You might as well let them spend the money on the gas. You've got other things to do. Okay. So code enforcement, it's free. You can typically get it from the city secretary. And over the last 4 years, this has been a question I've always gotten from people is on the code enforcement, is it countywide? It's not. It's specific to the city. So for example, Dallas, if you're in Arlington, if you're in Flower Mound, Carrollton, you have to go to that individual city and get the tax, or sorry, not the tax. You have to get the code enforcement list from them. Okay. The second one I'm always going to refer you to is the tax foreclosure one. It's a free list. Again, we're going free first, then paid. It's a free list, comes out every probably 2 weeks before auction. It doesn't give you a lot of time, but it does give you some resources ahead of time because, for example, you already know, hey, they're going tax foreclosure. They've probably been served a couple of times over the last year and they're coming up pretty quick. So they have to figure out something. Number three, it's me your tax delinquent list. This is my favorite list. Okay. This will typically cost you about $50 to $100, depending if it's a bigger county, or you can even get it for free in some counties. I've had mentees that are in like Florida, some random counties in Texas where you can get them for free. $100. These are going to be your key lists. Okay. Once you get these lists, code enforcement, that list is probably good for 60 days, 90 days, obviously, as the properties get updated or if they don't get fixed. Tax foreclosure, you can get that free every 2 to 4 weeks. And then tax delinquent, we typically buy that list about 2 times a year, just to give you a point of reference. So once you have these lists, depending on how they're formatted, they're typically going to be like this. Let's do another box. Let's just draw a line. I can figure out, okay, here we go. Let's make it a white line. There we go. Okay. So here's what you've got to also know is once you have the list, it's going to come out in a couple of different formats. So number one is spreadsheet. So number one spreadsheet. Two is CSV. So all it is a comma delimited. Same thing as a spreadsheet, basically. You have an FTP file. So you need like a Google Drive or Dropbox. So an FTP is a file transfer protocol. All it means is it's a huge file and the county is going to need to drop it into like a Google Drive, a Dropbox, whatever it might be. And that might be a CSV file. Okay. You have a DAT file, you have a TXT file, and those are typically the ones you're going to see. And what we do with that is we send this off to our data person over in India. So he'll typically convert a file for us. So convert file to Excel for typically it's about $100 to $150. Okay. So right now, if you're doing the math in your head, you're in it for about 50 to 100. I'm going to call it 100 tax delinquent. You're in it for 100. You have your data processor. By now, ChatGPT should be able to convert most of the files. So convert the file. Let's call it $100 even. So you're $200 in, and you probably have about 3,000 records in that list. Okay. So you have effectively 3,000 people that are free and clear because this is a multi-list. A lot of people don't realize this either is when you're going after this type of people, they typically don't have a mortgage on the property unless for some reason their mortgage company allowed them to not have a uh, not escrow their property taxes. Okay. So that's something you also need to be aware of as you're doing these types of deals. Let's go down here. All right. So if you're keeping tab on this, you're about $100 in for the tax delinquent list and then $100 to get it filtered out, formatted however you need to. And really what that list needs to look like this is, or let me go back this. You have about 3,000 records typically in a county that are tax delinquent, behind on taxes. And so a lot of these people don't have mortgages, which is great for you because all they owe is the taxes. So you can negotiate really low if you need to, or you can offer seller financing, things like that. Okay. So if you're keeping tab on this and you've got your list so far, so you're in it, I'm going to do checkpoint. So you're in for $200. And now you need to be like, hey, I need to format this list. Format. Okay. Typically, at the bare minimum, this is what we want. If the county produces this information, you can get other uh, headers, columns. Like if it tells you percentage ownership, get it. You're already paying this data scraper to get it. Go ahead and get it all. So at the bare minimum, though, we want this parcel ID, APN, and we want the city, that property address. So property address in address, city, state, zip code. Okay. You want it broken up where it's like 123 Main Street, Dallas, Texas. So Dallas is one, then Texas is one. You want to separate it. Then you want the mailing address, same way. Makes it a lot easier for if you're using Go High Level, Pipe Drive, REI Stitch, whatever it is, it makes it a lot easier. Mailing address, years owed, total years, or sorry, total owed, and then legal description or property type. And the reason I tell people to do this is, I'm going to move this down a little bit. So the reason you want this format this way is it's a standardized format. Okay. If you have this information right here, most times you can put it into any CRM you have. You can work around with it. You can manipulate the data how you need to. And you can actually figure out like, hey, is this a mobile home or is this a business personal property tax? Okay. I'm not going after business personal property tax unless I'm buying out a business. I'm not going after mobile homes if they don't have land. Simple enough. Okay. So right now we're still in it for $200. As far as software, if you do not have the budget, the bandwidth to do it, then you can still operate off of spreadsheets if you need to. It's going to be a little hectic, a little color coded. I've seen some massive spreadsheets that people have worked on, but if you can work off of a spreadsheet until you get your first deals down, perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I will say it makes life a lot easier if you can spend it on a software. But for the sake of this video, if you're balling on a budget, you're trying to get a deal done, this is exactly what I would do. Okay. Now, we're trying to make this bigger. There we go. Okay. So you're in it for 200. We've got the list. The next thing is obviously I would set aside $200 to $300 for skip tracing. And I will politely and unapologetically plug Smart Skip in here. It's one of the best bang for your bucks. I hands down, they don't pay me for anything. I've asked them to because we use them so much. But smartskip.io. Okay. You might be familiar with Skip Genie. I'm telling you, SmartSkip.io is way better. You get what would cost you 100 credits on Skip Genie, you can get it on Smart Skip. Okay. Matt Heckler, Matt Hecker, him and his brother are great guys. They've been great on the R&D department. They've got really great quality information on there. But what I love about it is it gives you the feature. A couple of different features I want to highlight is if you're a solo operator, you're trying to get your deals, you do not have time, one, to go back over the numbers and go, hey, is this active, inactive number? What is it? The second thing is, if I only have $1,000 to budget, I need to have my most bang for my buck on the highest quality skip tracing. So, like your individual skip tracing might cost you 15 cents. But the thing I love about Smart Skip is whenever you search one address, it gives you the entire anyone that has ever lived at that property. Okay. So it might give you like 40 people on that property. And what it also does is it gives you their skip trace numbers and then any relatives or associated relatives. So, for example, like a typical property, we might skip trace. It has 30 people on there, and each person has their own skip trace. Then they have their mom, their dad, siblings, and then any possible associates. We get all of their numbers. Okay. So we might have like 400 numbers off one skip trace, and it only costs us 15 cents. The other thing I love about it is you can go back and see, hey, which records have I already researched, got their numbers? What's that look like? Okay. SmartSkip runs you about $50 a month for the subscription, and then you have to add, I think it's like $100. It's like $50 credit minimum. So I'm going to say 100. So for this example, I'm in so far $200 for the list and processing, and then let's say another 150 for skip tracing. Okay. And then phone, you can use Google Voice or your personal phone. I'm gonna say it's $0 for phone. Okay. You use a scratch pad. I've got a good friend, Ryan McDonald. He actually did $1 million in 1 year just using a spiral notebook. So I know it's possible if you're insane like that guy. It's a great guy. Okay. Here we are. Our budget's $1,000. We are in it for, count with me, 200 plus 150. Okay. We are in it for $350. We are still under budget. Typically, I will tell you this. If you're watching this video, you're like, man, is this actually possible? Okay. I have mentees they work 12-hour shifts, they work 8-hour shifts, they work a full-time W-2 job, and they can go find a deal typically within 2 to 3 weeks. That's if their personal life allows them to go spend an hour a day, 2 hours a day on research. But it also comes down to the individual. Is the individual someone that can think through problems? Can they analyze the data quickly to where they can go find these deals? And I've had guys where they literally start and within 2 to 3 days they have a deal. I have a gentleman up in the Midwest. He started a week ago. He has 4 deals in the first week. Okay. Never done these types of deals, and he's rocking and rolling. And he is in it for this, exactly this budget. So I think he paid like $75. No, he paid like $50 for the list, got it converted, and he's already rocking and rolling. Okay. So like he's already made his money back in the first couple calls. And your KPIs, again, your conversations, they're going to be a little choppy when you start out. And if you want to get to this point where you're like, hey, I want some guidance, I want a community like that, we actually have a group coaching program that you can join. It's $200 a month. So you got enough to budget for that still. And that way you can go get your first deal done. We do offer JV partnerships for anyone that comes into our group. But I want to show you this and I want to break this down because a lot of people think you need a ton of money to go get into the real estate game. Okay. If you are able to think critically, you like hunting down people, not in a horrible way, but like crazy ex-girlfriend status, you know how to find people. I'm just going to say that. These are the types of deals that you can expect to look for. These are the types of deals that you might make 30, 40, maybe $100,000 on a deal. And you're basically just putting together all the undivided interest on this property to put it together. For example, we have homeowners that they have walked away from the property because they could not clear the title. Okay. A lot of people we talk to, it's like, for example, hey, we paid the house off 10 years ago, and my husband never told me he bought it with his sister. Well, his sister and him, they split up. They never talked after like 5 years before they got married, things like that. And it's been 25 years. We can't clear the title. We can't sell the property. So we just let it go. We have had probably a dozen conversations like that in the last 2 months of people that just walked away from their homes because they could not sell them. Okay. Realtors, attorneys, they've tried to do everything they could and they could not get it done because they didn't know the correct information. So these are the types of deals you look for. And I will tell you, a lot of the conversations, they're ready to give up the property. One, because they've tried, they understand they can't make any money off of it. They have been down that route. So if you're looking to do more deals like this, if you want to have more people go, I'll just give it to you, or I thought we lost it, or hey, I don't even think we can sell this property. If you want to hear more of those conversations versus the screw you getting hung up, pre foreclosures, having to door knock every single lead because they won't pick up your phone call. If you want to have more conversations that convert, check out our group coaching if you want. Check out some more videos if you're skeptical. And let's get you in a place where you're closing more deals and spending less time on your marketing budget and going after the old age of marketing that a lot of gurus preached, which was go buy more records, go buy more data, spend more on marketing. If you're watching this video, I'm sure you already have records in your CRM, your list that you bought that are sitting there ready to give away the property, or if not for pennies on the dollar, and you can do it with a couple $100. Okay. It's a shame that anyone should have to go pay tens of thousands of dollars to go buy more data when they can already use what's in there or capitalize on it. So if you enjoyed the video, like it, comment on our video here on YouTube, DM us on Instagram if you want to get some more information on our group coaching, or if you're a seasoned operator and you want to get more information on one-on-one mentorship, reach out to us. We'll get you a conversation going. Otherwise, I hope this helped you. We'll see you for the next video.